Hey family, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let me see. Notes. Okay, I'm just gonna finish up with what I was discussing earlier before I had to shut down my recording. Um, let's see. Okay. So basically, just to recap, we were talking about how the system of racism works and why it is put in place. It basically, we talked about how it's nothing more than a weaker race of people trying to thrive off of a stronger race of people. And it has a lot to do with what they call the fear of a black planet. See, everything is blackness. Everything is blackness. You can't escape from it. And blackness is power. So the only way for a certain group of people to be able to handle um, living within it, because they cannot live any other way, is to subjugate it, is for them to take control of it and maintain their control over it by surrendering that energy weak, by causing that energy to be a weak energy, thus allowing for a world of um, lower energy to thrive. And when you have lower energy, you have lowly existence as well. So that's pretty much what allows that. And I really didn't want to go back over the history of everything again. But just know that when you're in your higher state, being that we're on such a low level, that us being in our high state, we're always going to have some kind of energy, something coming to suck up, immediately absorb up what we have created, what we have manifested into on this level. When you manifest high, there's going to be a low energy trying to suck up that high energy from you. So So, the ancient part of Ghana was destroyed in the 11th century. So basically, in the 12th century, the people that destroyed them, the Moravids, were destroyed and conquered by the Almohads. The Almohads was a mixed group that came out of the Almoravids that decided to take over the Almoravids. The Almoravids were the Berbers, were the black ones, were the Amazigh. What were they? The Amazites. Hold on, I'll get it in a minute. See if I can go back to it. The Amazigh culture. Let me get that for you, in case someone wants to. Amazigh culture, which was northern part of Africa. But pretty much what I was saying about the Ghanaians, welcome back family, was that the Ghanaians were in their self-preservation because of the times when they had to leave one empire to go to another empire, the Mali Empire. Then from the Mali Empire, they had to leave the Mali Empire to go to where they are currently today, Ghana. You see? And if you look at, and the only way they had slaves was those people who came to infiltrate them. They knew they've always known, because even in Egypt, like I was saying about Egypt, with the Tamahu, in Egypt with the Tamahu, they had both they had the Tamahus coming in to infiltrate them, the Hyksos, all kinds of, they had the mixed group of people trying to come and infiltrate them in Nubia. And eventually Egypt was conquered. We can see how through this Islamic, how the black Berbers were conquered by the Almohads, which was the whiter group of people. And we see that today. We see how Arabia is taken over, and Egypt is taken over by the white Arabics, what we call the Caucasian Arabics today. So that's how you get the Ghana we have today. That's how you get the Ashanti people we have today. They were people who were protected, just like the Sentinels, island people. They are protective of their way of life. So they kill. They do not take slaves. They kill. Because you do know that when you do take in people and prisoners of war, you stand the chance of what happened in Egypt, which was they tried to reform the Tamahu and allow the Tamahu to live amongst them. Okay, come and get your water, but make sure you.
It's a cup, Mommy. It's a cup with a deer on it.
I'm recording. Get your cup. your mug, Reba. What I was saying was everything is an act of war. Um, Mixing is considered an act of war because they will always need to keep us down under their feet of control.
This puppy does clothes. This puppy does clothes.
Here, get it.
This puppy does clothes.
That should be your thing. Don't you want to fix it? Don't you want to fix it? Okay. Sorry about that, family. Family. Okay. So, as we can see, we're living in a society now that is a mixed society. And it's a mixed society for a reason because they needed that a way for survival. If we were to separate out of this society, hey, melanated son of Ra, then there would be less. They would have no chance of survival, no chance. See, that's why they need us on this planet, because without us, wait one second. Sorry about that, family. I'm back. I don't mean to hold you like that. But they call themselves the Tamazight in northern Africa. But of course, we know that northern Africa is one of the places where these Caucasians also have taken over. So pretty much, if we look around, we see that the world has been taken over by a wicked spirit. And that's the spirit of whitening, of whiteness, a spirit of the physical whiteness, which is the animal, which is just being, animal pretty much just means animated form, a low animated form. So that means that it's without a soul, without true life, true light. Because if it had the true light in it, then the things around the world, the people wouldn't, the black people would be still in their indigenous state, still in their indigenous land. Because we know that all of, let me go over here, because I'm through talking about the Amavids, the Almohad, and all of that in the, okay, we're going to look at that. Maybe I should do it like this. Bay of Bengal. Okay, that's where the Andaman Islands are.
Marisa, go to the room. I can't leave the class. She's sick. She's crying. I can't stay in there.
Okay. I'm just showing you the deception lies in the, what exactly spiritually how that works and what it looks like in the physical. So you can understand why the word racism exists, and you can stop, and those Caucasians won't have an argument on whether blacks can be racist or not, because black people aren't the ones who need to go around putting their foot on someone's neck to control them, to do anything for them. We don't need them to do anything for us. They needed us to do for them. See, so that's racism, because they chose to recreate a system of survival for us as a people who were surviving naturally. So they had to put in play a system so that we wouldn't survive without them, knowing that they can't survive without us. So that's racism. See, if we were not under their feet, then we would never need them for anything. You see, we would never need them for anything. Yeah, they would, well, they wouldn't be back in the caves. They would be dying. They would be dropping dead left and right. You know, they wouldn't even have the strength to have news people to tell us what's going on. They wouldn't have the strength. See, we wouldn't even need that. We wouldn't even need to know what's going on. But the people who would stay back, the black people that would stay back with them, would probably inform their family members on what's going on with them. But because they would be so weak that the majority of us moving out would be their fall, would be the fall of all Caucasians, because we would all have decided to come together as one group of people, which they have put in place that would never happen through adopting our black children, through indoctrination of our people, through religion, through creating this one new world order that some of our people strongly, blindly follow and they believe in. You know, just like they believe in religion, just like they believe in a lot of things. Just like some people believe that black people can be racist. But like I said, black people can't be racist. We didn't create the system, for one thing, nor did we ever need them for survival. You know, nature had it that all the black people were on territories. And we were enriched with things in that territory that we inhabited, that the outsiders saw that they couldn't survive, and they wanted to hoard what we had. But they needed us to do the work. They needed us to do the work. So when you are a casualty of war, and your ancestry is a mixed ancestry, and you identify, and you don't know that it's in your psyche too, because it's something spiritually that you battle with within yourself. So in order to overcome that, you have to first recognize the spiritual battle within yourself, and not and try to get as knowledgeable as you can about the whole situation as a whole, because chances are, as a war casualty,
Mommy, where's my puppy dog?
they begin to
Where's my
pick
puppy
sides,
dog?
because you think,
Mommy, where's my puppy dog?
wait one.
Where's my puppy dog?
Bobby bought dresses in my room. Let me give it to you. Real quick. No, I'm giving it to you. I don't want that yet.
So, because if you don't, then you're gonna find yourself blind, and just like the young man
Marisa,
I was listening
it's on the
to.
floor. Get it. Here, go.
Sorry about that. Just like the young man I was listening to that was so confused that he made the video. About can black people be racist? And he concluded that we could be racist, which is looking over, it's not having the complete information about the whole situation. It's just only having partial. See, mixed racing are people, and has always been a war tactic for these people, just like the Chinese currently are pumping money into Africa, and they're secretly infiltrating Africa because after they know that the Europeans have already pretty much infiltrated them through luxury. The European is good for using luxury to entice the eye. And that's what's wrong with majority of these heads of states in Africa, is they love their white women and they love their luxury. So, hey, Harub Apocalypse. So they love their white woman and they love their luxury. And they don't, this is part, I'm not going to go too much deep in why you know, that what the spirit can do to the body. It makes you sick. It messes up your thinking. And like I said last night about, well, the other night before, the night before, about the black man and the white woman, that when a black man, a white woman might as well hand over a gun to the black man, because once he's involved with her, it's the end of him. He's dragged and pulled into another world. He comes from a black woman, yes, but that does not give him the strength and power to overcome these, to fight against all that would happen to him once he enters the white woman. Because once he enters the white woman, his mind is messed up, his body is messed up, and his soul is messed up. It affects him deeply. It affects him deeply because, and well, there's a war that would go on within him because he's taking in all these low energy spirits. So this is what happened around the world, not just only in our country in America. And but this should tell a little bit more about what has happened to us as a people here in the States. And exactly the way we got into it is the way we're going to have to get out of it, because they dealt with it. They conquered us spiritually. That's with unseen things like words, ideologies. So we have to use this. It's gonna be the spiritual that is gonna save us from this. And if majority of our people are not going within, let's say we have a man that but I was watching something earlier. Okay, let me see. Because I was listening to a brother Darkman last night, and he was talking about the Asians. But we know that every society, Gap Talk Media, every society has been taken over by this animal gene, the Neanderthal gene. Ooh. Almost lost it again, family. I'm sorry about that. Let me see. Gap Talk, Melanated Sun, Haru Apocalypse. Thank you guys. I'm sorry, I almost lost you again here. So let me see. Let me go here and use this from the. Okay, we looked at India. I should say. Okay, this is Asia. I really want to see the whole map, but we'll look at this one right now. See, all this is Asia, Asia Minor. Even India is Asia Minor. Of course, we have the Andaman Islands. They're in here. Bengal, right here. Andaman Sea. You can barely see the Sentinel Island over here. And it's supposed to be a huge island, but in between. Of course, we know why Vietnam was fought. The natives there were black. And, you know, they wanted to go and get that opium in there. So that's what that was all about. But we know that everything, no one can tell us that we can be racist. There's no way for us to be racist when all we ever wanted to do was stay in our land. You know. When all you want to do is stay in your land and live, and you don't bother anybody else, we pretty much, like I said, we pretty much traded with the others. But like I said, India became Neanderthal, Asia became Neanderthal, and parts of Africa became Neanderthal. Europe became Neanderthal, and all of this area became Neanderthal. So basically what we're dealing with is the Neanderthal that we thought died out, but did not die out. They just evolved into a different type of people, got immaculated into being more through race mixing, basically becoming more closer to identify with us. But they still hold that strong Neanderthal gene. You see. And what has happened is, I'm going to talk about this in part 2, which is not going to be until Wednesday, family. I'm not going to go live again until Wednesday. I really wasn't going to go live tonight, but I went live today because I felt it important to talk about this racism and how it's impossible for Black people to be racist, because we were given the whole world, the whole planet. And it took another group that could not survive off of the planet that belonged to us to create a system, an artificial system of survival. And racism is part of the artificial system of survival that says that the Black man is less powerful than the white man. So therefore, the Black man has to be a slave to the white man. Therefore, the Black man is vulnerable to being attacked at any time by the white man. They control our food, they control our everything. So that in itself is a created system called racism. And many people, until they really understand the whole full story, they won't see that. They won't be able to see that because they still in the ideology of the racist, the one that's pushing for an artificial created, world. Hey, Gap Talk. Is it confusing? Gab, is it confusing? Hold on. Oh, you just got back. So all I'm talking about is I didn't start from the beginning because I just think that I've already done that. So pretty much now I'm talking about, I'm trying to give you the understanding of how basically everything was conquered and what it looks like. What has it become? And what it has become is it's become, see, we were attacked. We've been attacked spiritually because we are spiritual people through ideology and words and pretty much everything. Those things, ideology and words, are all spirituality. No, 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 no. Okay? No noise. Okay, no noise. Okay. So, like I said, all of this was black people. All of this was black people. All of this, all the lands on the planet was black people. So make it short story short. Oh. Hey, I'm doing something that requires quietness. So I need to take it to the other room.
That's cute.
No, you don't, well. Be quiet. Shh. Okay. What'd you say, Gun? What'd you say? What's that mean? Oh, okay. Yeah, she wants to get a little out of hand in her playing. She's playing her little imaginary toys, and she doesn't want to be in the other room by herself, but she gets a little carried away with making the sounds. You know, her imaginary world. So, so it's a complicated thing, but it's important. I'm trying to get it across, and I don't feel like I'm getting it across the right way, but I know I'm saying the best way I can say it, so you all can see. It's all about survival for these people. And racism, they can never get us to, they should never be able to tell black people that we can be racist. The planet has been taken over by Neanderthals DNA, but a totally different species than what we are. Yes, it's been taken over. I would say the same thing you just said, but I would emphasize by a different species that is trying to infiltrate us as a people. Yeah, it's Neanderthal but no longer the Neanderthals that we once were told about. This is a different strand. So that's where you get the East Indians looking like they look, the Asians looking like they look, the Caucasians looking like they look. So they and the Europeans looking like they look up there. Because the Europeans used to be black, Americans used to be black, Africans, the whole continent of Africa used to be black, Russia used to be black, and so on. But they have to feed us lies and deceptions to up keep up their existence, to keep us under their feet. And some of us, I was listening to someone's video, like I said before, and it's working. Oh, you trying to change it? You trying to change it, Rick Shanna? You throw it around so much. I don't know what you want me to do. Okay. 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 Yeah, I got it now. Okay, you can fix it now. See? What do you want?
Mommy, Marsha's house.
Okay.
Marsha's store. Marsha's store. Marsha's house.
Okay. Here you go, Shana.
I'm tall. Hungry. What's this?
So,
Mommy, what's this, Mommy? What's
nothing,
this?
Shana.
What's this?
Come on, let's go in here and watch
That's
it.
a giraffe.
Yeah, that's a giraffe.
What's that?
That's an elephant.
Elephant.
Here. And a giraffe.
What's that? What's that, Mommy?
A giraffe.
Oh, giraffe.
That's a zebra.
Zebra.
That's a cougar.
Cuckoo.
Mhm.
Cuckoo.
Okay, let's go watch the house.
That's lion guy. My favorite tail. It's my pepper
Good mom. But, Asia. So, basically, you have Spain Italy, which used to be a part of Africa, but they were taken over by the Almohads. Because you know, all of the northern part of Africa, Morocco, all of that was under the control of the Almoravids. So you know that racism played a part in that, even though the Almoravids always were a mixed group of people. That's where you got, when they were in Europe, they would mix with the Neanderthals. So what happened to them was they got conquered by the offsprings of that situation, basically. So just like pretty much the offsprings went into Germany, and tried to remix themselves again with whites, with white Germans, and those were called the Jews. The Jews, they were trying to re-whiten themselves. That's where you get the World War II, and you got them. World War II was all created just so they can get Israel, because they were bugging, they wanted Israel anyways, and they needed Hitler to do that. So they got Hitler to do that for them in order for them to snatch away Israel from the people that lived there. So basically, all you have to know is that racism is a spiritual thing, because we are spiritual beings put here to keep the planet imbalanced. So what they needed to do for their own selfish, manipulative existence is to feed us lies and deceit. Lies and deception of our minds to allow them to thrive. And what is happening now? Our people, most of our people working with them spiritually, are spiritually dead. That's what you call a spiritually dead individual, because they're not aware of the strings that are being pulled within their system, within them, you know, to get them to fall under this falsehood, into this falsehood, and live under this falsehood, feeling like they are getting everything they need, but they're not getting everything they need. That's why then they have to turn around and feed you religion to make, on top of that, see. So it's all a lie. Everything we live is a lie here. Because our truth is keeping in balance with nature. Our truth is balance. So anything outside that is anti-Christ, is what they call anti-Christ, because it's not, if you're not lifting up the black man and black woman, you're anti-Christ. You're anti-us, you're anti-nature, you're anti-everything. So there is nothing outside of that. So there's no way for the black man and black woman to be racist, because we don't need anything from the other species, because we have everything given to us. That's what blackness is. Blackness is a supply of everything. Blackness does not lack in anything. But because of this created system and how they have control over all our resources and control over us, they have created a falsehood of need for us, and a falsehood of them being enriched. So with that said, family, I'm hoping this message helped you. I'm sorry about my video earlier. I did so much work into that and I just hated to have to get rid of it. But always remember, true love from the cosmos, real peace from within, and the higher self, your soul. Stay connected, family.